In the heart of Little Rock, Arkansas, a city built on faith and family, some stories unfold behind closed doors. Stories where trust shatters, boundaries blur, and the consequences become permanent. This is one of those stories. Latasha was 37 years old. By profession, she was an anger management counselor and a social worker. Every day, she guided others through their deepest emotional pain and conflict. But her own life was a different story. Her marriage was falling apart. It's a sad reality that when people feel emotionally unfulfilled in their relationships, they often seek that missing connection somewhere else. Looking for help, Latasha turned to a figure she trusted from her church, Pastor Brouses. We often see clergy as pillars of our communities, safe people to confide in. Studies even show that we're more likely to share our deepest struggles with spiritual leaders because we believe in that inherent trust. But with that trust comes an immense responsibility and a set of unbreakable ethical boundaries. What started as pastoral counseling didn't stay that way for long. The professional line was crossed, and the dynamic shifted into something deeply personal and inappropriate. Experts in counseling ethics always warn about relationships with a power imbalance, especially between clergy and their congregation. That imbalance can seriously blur the lines of consent and create a dangerous emotional dependency. As their relationship deepened, secrecy became its defining characteristic. They communicated through disappearing messages. Rules were set. Latasha was expected to follow strict emotional and even financial conditions. Psychologists will tell you that this kind of secrecy and control can actually intensify feelings of attachment while simultaneously chipping away at a person's self-worth and independence. They began traveling together, taking trips to places like Las Vegas, Savannah, and even going overseas. Pastor Brouses told Latasha that his wife knew about their relationship and that she approved of it, painting it as a consensual and ethical arrangement. But here's the thing about ethical non-monogamy. Relationship experts say it requires full, honest, and enthusiastic consent from everyone involved. And that simply wasn't the case here. Eventually, Pastor Brouses got a new job at a church in Tennessee and moved there with his wife. The physical distance changed everything. For Latasha, this sudden separation was devastating. Research on mental health shows that when a person's emotional stability is heavily tied to one relationship, a sudden withdrawal like this can trigger intense anxiety, depression, and a profound sense of abandonment. Latasha's emotional state began to spiral. The feelings of rejection and humiliation grew stronger each day. Mental health professionals consistently warn that when someone is in a state of acute emotional distress, they can act impulsively. They're driven by overwhelming pain, not by logic. And without a proper support system, those emotions can escalate very, very quickly. The final break came through a disappearing message. Just like that, she was cut off. Latasha was shattered. She felt like she had lost not just a relationship, but her entire sense of purpose. There was no closure. Experts say that breakups that involve this level of secrecy and power imbalance often leave a person feeling confused, ashamed, and desperate for answers that they may never get. Seeking that closure, Latasha got in her car and drove from Arkansas all the way to Tennessee. She wasn't planning violence. She just wanted to confront the man she felt had controlled her life and then discarded her so carelessly. But psychologists caution that trying to force a confrontation during an emotional crisis rarely leads to resolution. More often, it makes a volatile situation even worse. When Latasha arrived, everything happened in a blur. Emotions were at a breaking point. A heated confrontation erupted, and it ended in absolute tragedy. In just a few moments, one person was dead, another was seriously injured, and Latasha's future was changed forever. When the police arrived at the chaotic scene, Latasha was taken into custody. The case slowly made its way through the court system. Evidence and testimony painted a heartbreaking picture of manipulation, secrecy, and a complete emotional collapse. In the end, a jury found Latasha guilty. She now awaits her sentence, facing the possibility of spending the rest of her life behind bars. It was a tragic chain of events, series of personal failures, broken ethical codes, and untreated emotional distress that led to an irreversible outcome. This story isn't just about a crime. It's about the abuse of power, the betrayal of trust, and the critical importance of mental health. It's a stark reminder that when emotional pain is ignored, or worse, exploited, it can become incredibly destructive. And it shows that accountability matters on every single level. If you or anyone you know is struggling emotionally, please know that help is available. Reaching out to support systems, counselors, or crisis resources can make all the difference before pain turns into tragedy. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more true crime stories.